Yeah, welcome. I offered that Annie will tell you a bit about the stuff we're doing at work. And we talked about it a while ago in the office, and for most of the people it's a black box what we are doing all day, and we try to shed some light on it. Because we're not sitting around and enjoying ourselves, we're actually coding and doing stuff. Sometimes, mostly. Hopefully all day, if you're not crying in the corner because something is not working. You know how coding is. So, when we started with the GmbH, basically the mission was to help the community grow and keep everything away that is nagging. Who can imagine how many community projects we currently have, we are maintaining? An estimate. So what applications do you know in the TYPO3 universe that you are facing on a daily basis, or you've heard about it, that could need some maintenance or something like this?
What, you're maintaining Slack as well?
Once again? 25 applications. Guess not so much. Can show you an overview, basically. Because we have some nice filters here. Oh, that's not enough. Oh, I'm not signed in. Security, why am I not signed in? Okay. Yes, you know it, two-factor everywhere. But he doesn't ask me. Here. Oh. I'm not prepared, as you can see. This is how you should always do a talk. Have no idea what you're talking about, and
neither am I.
Also not being prepared and not even logged in on your workstation. So that looks more interesting. So this is so we're not at 25. But we're at 24. Yeah? So we almost hit the right number. I also need my glasses because I can't read this. So I'm closing this down so you can have a look peek. So what applications could this be? Except, okay, I see mytypes3.org, but what else do we have? We have Forger. Already, we have the exam tool where you can do online certifications. We have the mytypes3.org, we have the shop, we have the event sites, we have sprint plannings for us internal, we have video boards that we are doing for video production. What else do we have, Andy?
We have the reimbursement tool, we have Intercept for documentation rendering.
The what?
It's used for documentation rendering. It has a webhook that's triggered by GitHub and offloads the documentation rendering.
Yeah. So basically there's a lot of stuff going on that we are taking care of on a daily basis. And how much TYPO3 websites we maintain, you may ask? It's probably 3. 3. It's event sites. It's a .com. Okay, we have 2. Of all these applications, that 2 are actually TYPO3, more or less. Yeah. So yeah, why do we need all this stuff? Well, do you have an idea what they are doing, or specific questions about it? Or should we just guide you a bit around our universe, how it's connected and whatever? Okay. So mytypes3.org is what you would call a headless with a static front end. Yeah, so it has no database, it has no access, or no nothing. Just an application that renders data and asks our APIs to do stuff in the background. So when we head out, the first problem we faced was who are our members and can they sign in into platforms and how do we manage all of this? And there were solutions, like some of this was just stored in LDAP, but the LDAP is basically the thing you still authenticate behind because it stores the data in the final truth, but we also want to be convenient because we need to switch platforms a lot, so we needed something else, because also we needed additional information that needs to be stored somewhere. And yes, there were talks to our cloud providers that offer great discounts on that many users, but we also have to take care about your privacy and need your data secured, because if you ever have opened the myTypo3.org profile, for example, there are your addresses stored, email addresses, all your activities you do in Typo3, we know about it. Now, what payments you have, etc. So we need to have a different kind of secure storage. We can share ours with the community, like the .org, for example, catches some parts of it, like the listing of certifications, for example. And also like partners like Skill Display, where you can log in with your Typo3 account, but they don't get the full data set. Yeah? So we can allow applications to use parts of your data, and if you want to log in this application, the external applications can also request to have access to your email address, for example. But this is no decision we can make for you, so you need to approve it. Yeah? That means if you log in, you need to approve what kinds of data you share. So we are not doing decisions that you are listed on platforms or not. Yeah? Also with the whole GDPR stuff, we also need to take care of GDPR requests. Like if you want to be removed from all our platforms, we need to initiate it and keep track of that you're really removed from everything. Yeah? So we delete your history, except for legal stuff we cannot delete, but otherwise you will be wiped out. Yeah? That means we have interconnections with the server team, in this case, where we need to create tickets so they can remove you from the platforms that are not directly attached, like Garrett, for example, or Forge. So they need to take care of that you will be removed. And there also needs to be a protection that no one can follow you and just takes your username and registers after you've been deleted. So to prevent some kind of identity theft, because I know that username, but now it belongs to someone different, so everything is stored for the past, so we are protecting it. Yeah?
Question? Has it ever happened that someone wanted to delete himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like on a daily basis.
On a daily basis?
Yeah.
You?
Some accounts were just created. You get in touch, see if it's something for you, and then you see, okay, I don't have a connection, or I don't do it anymore, so I'm just a personal cleanup. So it's mostly nothing personal. So it's more like test accounts or whatever, and all this kind gets cleaned up. We have all the, I guess, hacker name 1 to 302 trillion is all reserved by now, because some security researcher tried to get into the systems and try to register for some valid reasons. Some of them we know, so we actually know the patterns of the security researcher, because, yeah, they are not that creative, I might say. Yeah. But yeah, that's totally common, and someone needs to take care about this. So we have interfaces for this. I will not go in on the production side. I can log in here, and you see you're now faced with a login mask. This login mask is always the same, and we choose to have, how is it called on the...
It's called Keycloak.
We have a
as our login
Keycloak.
server.
our login server. So that login server is basically asked if I grant the application for now the access to access my data. I can also go to the keylog itself and log myself out of all applications. Yeah? So it also has two-factor support and whatever. I hope I saved it. Oh, come on. Come on. It is especially fun if you work on it and need to test the login. Yeah, like multiple times or switch accounts or whatever. It's a feast. And I'm too stupid. Yes, I managed. I'm signed in. So this is basically what you see. In the front end, you are authenticated by the user and you see whatever you have. Yeah? And you also see all the certifications I have. We can look at it because I'm meanwhile certified, even if Frank don't like it. Yeah? And you see all my orders and how long my certifications are running, etc. All this is stored securely on our site, and we're managing it. And you can also see that we have the first integrations running here, so you can basically see my shop orders for my community membership. You all should have one, I hope. Yeah. And my connected Slack and Discord accounts here. So we are backupping all orders by design. That means as soon as you order something in the shop, for example, that has its own order table, that's fine, that's for shop data, but for history reasons, we have a backup of all these orders in our system. So we get the fully payload and save it into the data hub. That means at the moment we decide to change shop technology and whatever, we still have all the information available, what you have ever ordered, and can restore it into the next system. Yeah. For now, it's a shopware system running here, but I don't know. If shopware at some point decides to do stuff we don't like, or we need to make the decision that we cannot work with this anymore, we need to be ensured that there's nothing that prevents us from changing the system. Because it's just a technical implementation, but not the stuff you bought, your rights, or whatever. Yeah. I've also access to different parts, like ELTS, for example. But it was split it in different applications in the past. Since we now have all the data collected and we know who you are and what you want to do, we can all access it directly from here. Yeah. This one also integrates the access to GitHub or Composer repositories, whatever. Everything you tell this system is transferred to our data hub, that's our storage, and that one then knows, okay, I got a new SSH key or authentication secret from the user. I'll pass it on to the platform where it belongs. That means we always have one application we talk to that processes all information. That means we can exchange all bits and pieces around at any time and have still a stable API everyone can rely on. If it's us or someone else in the future, we don't care. The system is basically built to last. That goes also for sharing your ELTS plans, for example. Stuff that wasn't been easily able in the past. I can just now assign a technical contact, and if you have an instance your freelancers working on, you can just share the plan, so you can also access the ELTS versions bound to that specific application. Yeah. I need you just interrupt if I miss anything or communicate something wrong. Please, please, please. So we have an administration area here. So I'm just showing you this because I cannot go into, because otherwise I get in trouble. Yeah. We have GDPR requests. We also have old users managed. That means we still tracking accounts that haven't been logged in since 6 to 10 years. Yeah, they're still registered. They've been through multiple migration paths, and people just randomly show up or nowadays and want to reactivate their accounts. Yeah, but we're missing basically their consent or consent to do this for them now without being asked. We also have the not all registrations are activated directly. Yeah, even if you are in a privileged position to have a .de email address or .nl, you get signed off instantly. But if you're coming from a spam country or something we cannot really assign, you need to have a manual approval process for registrations. Yeah, that means you basically get the information that you need to send an email and explain why you need to have an account to Stefan Busemann, and Stefan Busemann then goes into the application and says, yeah, that person exists, there's no bot. Yeah. Yeah. And we can also change the configuration for this on demand. And if an accident happens, we can also send all emails when the president decides that there is something important to report. Yeah. Otherwise, we have some kind of impersonations built in. That means if you are within the community and doing stuff, you can have different entities. Yeah. In the past, you needed multiple accounts for this. Now you can just switch a context. That means if I'm currently acting or being logged in an application where it's important, I'm always acting as me, as Benjamin Kott, the person, not related to any business. If I need to do business, I can switch to one of my organization if my organization owner granted me access to perform the task. Yeah? That means not everyone can, for example, in the shop buy for your organization. But we've seen in the past that we have clients with changing partners and no one knows what anyone bought. That means we need to look up at each and every order and basically combine them into an organization that everyone that works in this organization or is assigned to this organization can access, like billings, your abos or whatever, yeah, and can manage them. And we have also access rights for this. Yeah. It means I can now act as TYPO3 GmbH because I'm admin for my GmbH. And I now can change my organization profile, my addresses, can manage my members, see when the certifications of my employees are due to be renewed or retaken, and can always order this on a separate place. So we're shopping a lot on our own stuff. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite expensive to work for us when we buy our own stuff. Basically, we never paid the bills, but the orders exist. But you should pay your bills, right? Yeah. So we can manage this. And the idea behind all of this we're doing is all listings on the certification listing, for example, on the .org was a manual process. Someone got sometimes a list of new persons and needed to enter this manually in the system. That's not happening anymore because it's all fully automated. Yeah? And the problem also was, so when the certification is not valid anymore, it also needs to be removed. Yeah? So people had a lot of fun doing stupid stuff. Yeah? And we set out to basically reduce all unnecessary work. Yeah? So community members and everyone involved can actually focus on delivering value or do something interesting in the community. Because we also don't need someone to change your contact data. We need to call and, hey, I have a new address. Just log in, change your address. And everything is updated. So we're moving to a self-service community where you can everything do yourself and still be protected by, well, we are the guard shield We have access to some kind of data we need to, but being responsible with it and only sharing it with people that are allowed to. Yeah? For example, even the association doesn't have full access to all your member data. They see what they are allowed to in their role. So everything is really guarded off to only being available to the persons that have the need to see the data. Yeah? Yes. So this is a headless application. Yeah? Even it looks like a static rendered page. So there's no fancy JavaScript in the front end, it's all PHP codes in the backend. They are running through an HTTP protected tunnel on the system, and each and every system needs to have manual approval to talk to the system. Yeah? So even if I now tell you that you can talk to data.typo3.org or .com, it will not answer you, even if you want. Yeah? That's the idea behind it. Yes. What else should I mention? Shopware. So as you've seen, we're also doing a lot of more stuff because when we set out for a self-service solution, we also need some shop solutions. Something where you can buy products, put it to a cart, and whatever. And this is happening on multiple places, and we needed something that's capable where we can talk API to. Because stuff we trigger manually, we need to get the orders out of the system, we need to intercept data or change data, and we need a really flexible system. And this is why we landed on Shopware. Because the first thing we did when we set up Shopware, and the first thing we changed was the authentication. Because we didn't want to have any authentication done by Shopware itself, because it's running through Keycloak, because you need to approve that your data is used in the system. And also the data is being synced between the two systems. That means you have the same data available for addresses, orders, etc., as you have on mytypo3.org. That means if you change something in the shop, it's changed also on mine, because the data is just a placeholder in the shop and is fetched from our data in the backend. So that was fun. Mostly not the first thing you do is ripping the most important part, like authentication of the system. And we also needed to build some special tricks into the shop, like a shop usually knows that you have just one person, you have one account, but you can also impersonate your company. There's nothing the shop can do. That means we have two authentication layers in the shop. The first one is basically asking our system who you are, and then who are you allowed to be. Yeah? So you can just change it and interact as a new entity. We have some technical details, so we have still some records about customers in the shop backend because it needs to have it. But as soon as we can get rid of that also, we will also remove this. Yeah. Also your membership discount codes, huge mess in the past, are now generated automatically once a year when your membership is updated. Yeah, you get new codes and you can see them. Do we have any discount codes here in this? Oh, we don't have any. So this GmbH is not a gold member. We should talk about this with our boss. Otherwise, we should now see discount codes for certifications or events. But the GmbH is no gold member of the association. Sad story. Yeah. You can also get offers from us. Yeah. Like you can prepare your card in the shop, and we need this for legal reasons because. If a municipality or something else wants to buy ELTS, they need to have an offer first. In Germany. Okay. Germany. Yeah. because someone needs to approve it, and the price needs to be valid, even if they change prices in between from the point where the offer was made. Yeah, so we also need to store that kind of data. Also, the shop is directly integrated into the myTYPO3.org, if you don't know. As soon as you go to, oh, that's me, the GmbH. I have no memberships. Yeah, the professional service listing that's currently turned off because we don't have professional services to offer. It's more like for agencies, freelancers, and whatever. But you can edit your profile here. If you don't have activated it, the basic listing is for free. You just need to press the button, yes, list me. Then you can be found on this. And then you can extend your profile. There will be information about this more in the future, about price changes here. Because if I'm correctly, it will be included in the membership, right? At least for gold members and platinum members, it will be just free, just upload your stuff. And as you can see, we have basically the shop implemented in the system. Yeah, that means in this case, we're also talking with the shop API and sending you to the shop for checkout. Yeah, it seems like we're currently actually paying money for this and not having this activated. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So, and this then all goes to shop.typo3.org.com, where I can now also log in. And you don't see the login mask because I'm just signed in. This is why we have the single sign-on, so we can seamlessly switch between platforms. And as you can see here, I've also can just change who I'm currently acting as. Yeah. So the same information being available to all platforms. So no data loss, no data duplication. Really having the data cleaned up. Right? Yes. What else can we tell? What do you want to hear? Yes.
For the syncing process, for as an example, between Shopware and TYPO3, so that you
Yep.
see the addresses, are you syncing it directly between the two systems, or is there some message queue, high availability message queue to prevent data loss when one system is down?
Yeah, so everything is asynchronous. So that means we have message queues running on all systems that are sending message to other systems and only get deleted if the processing was successful. So we are not losing data. We have some trouble with this sometimes, correct me Andy, because Shopware uses their message queue system is not that great. It's not that easily to work around. We had rare cases where we need to manually restore data that was lost, and we have, for now, basically scripts in place that ensuring from time to time that all data is really synced and up to date. Yeah, because if the message is lost, Shopware retries it 5 times.
3 times.
3 times, and then it just decides, oh, I don't know, just delete it. Someone put it there by accident, we don't know. So we have no failure queue for this. For all other systems we have this. Yeah. That means we really try to ensure to have no data loss. That also means if we take a certification, for example, every click you do for every answer is persisted immediately. That means if something goes wrong, we immediately know, and we don't lose your progress or whatever. And not sitting there after 45 minutes and seeing, so, oh, data stored. Maybe I do it again. I know you don't take so long, because the last time we have seen that you have passed the certification after 15 minutes, but you still sat like 45 minutes in the room. So it was just like, don't you want to go? He's done. Yeah. Yeah, so we really try to also improve on helping for certifications, for example. So the person who does the certification can always see where each student is in the process. He also sees live data about answered question, unanswered question, incorrect questions, whatever. And maybe when you see a hint like, you really want to go so soon? Don't you want to recheck your questions? Maybe it's a good idea to do. Yeah? Because he may know something you don't know. Yeah? Because nobody's interested if you fail your certification. Nobody has a benefit. And if it's 1 point, so some students we see, okay, you need to talk to them afterwards because you see they failed massively. Other ones are just sitting there and you need to go to the toilet or something else, and he's the last one, he still sits there and it has passed like 30 minutes ago. You might want to get him rid out of the room, like you're done already, done. Yes, but you can do this. You also get, for now, more insights. Now we control this, Andy. If you go to exam.typo3.com, this is where you also do the online certification with an external proctoring service we have. But you've also should see my exams. Oh, I failed this. Why? Where's my past one? Did Frank actually delete it?
I don't know, but your certification is still there.
Yeah. Your certification. I've mine printed at home. My certification was done at Frank's super exam event, highly official. Yeah. Anyways, you can now actually see how you did perform in your certification afterwards for each and every certification. We don't show you exactly what you did wrong, but we may give you a hint in which areas you need to improve. Even for the ones that passed. Yeah? Like for this one, I've really had know about requirements engineering because I understood it wrong. Yeah? So maybe it's a good idea that I should learn about it for the next try or for the next time. Yeah? And you now get immediate results. Yeah? As soon as a certification is done on location, the proctor waits until everyone leaves the room, closes the door, and then press publish. Yeah? And then everyone gets an email where it said, okay, passed, failed, passed, failed, passed, failed, and hides from everyone then. Yeah? And also the process, maybe if you don't know, sometimes it could take up to 2 years in the past until you get your certificate, because it was just lost somewhere in transition. All this process is now automated, and as soon as someone has here succeeded, a print comes out at our office, and someone just needs to put it into the bag and bring it to the postal office. Nothing is lost anymore. Because we know that's highly frustrating, yeah? And I also need to go afterwards. Why didn't it come in or whatever? Just unnecessary. Like removing the problems and making it just work. Yeah? That's quite nice. I need to talk to Frank. Remember me. Yeah. Yeah, so this tool is now used by all the proctors that are doing official TYPO3 certifications. That also means there's less ways to cheat. We are sorry, because they don't have A and B anymore, they have random all the time. So they don't even know what questions get printed out. Each exam has a configuration behind it that says, okay, you need to have 30% TypeScript questions, whatever. Whatever's in the pool gets put in. If you're lucky, you get the easy questions. If you didn't learn it hard enough, you get all the hard questions. That's how it works. Yeah. So it's more fair for everyone. Yeah. So it's not like, I don't know, they're going to a friendly agency and only picking the easy questions. Yeah? No. It's for everyone, it's the same. Yeah. Yes?
What else do we have? I guess we still have some time left.
We have some time left. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to see? I can show you. I can also show code if you want. Can I? Again, no secrets.
If we don't open the .env file, then there are no secrets, I guess.
I can go to the GitHub repository. There you don't see anything. Everything but at us runs through GitHub. So we had an incident some years ago where we lost all our data. That also means the build server was gone, our repository is done, like everything was gone. Because we managed to have the backup server and the actual server both having disk issues at the same time. So worst case, so we managed to recover. It was some interesting nights, let me put it that way, and then we decided, okay, at least for that part, we are moving cloud only, and we're putting it to hands where people know what they're doing. So we're only using GitHub Actions and GitHub repositories. That means also all your ELTS Git downloads are coming from GitHub. So we don't have to ensure that this is running. So Microsoft does, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. Also deployments running through them. So it's nice to have. We can look at so you see we have different kind of actions here. We have the acceptance test suite that runs regularly over the TYPO3.com page, ensuring that the essential parts are working. So this is a scheduled job. We have a sync that basically ensures that our testing environments have the same production data available without the users and stuff that's being pointed out, and that we have 2 times for 2 different stages where I don't know where the second one is for. I don't know. And we have normal CI and deployment. That means if we merge something, we have tests running and then a deployment attached. Yeah.
Just for asking, do you have some kind of status page for your, some public status page for your services? As a concrete example, I think in the last few weeks the access token generation had some problems.
Okay.
So where
access token generation where?
For accounts, and when you wanted to publish an extension to the TER using.
Okay, this is TER is nothing we maintain.
Okay.
It's the .org, and TER is currently, yeah, it's the only thing we don't care about. Not to put it that way, but yeah.
Also couldn't create a new access token on my TYPO3.org.
Yeah.
Because it failed.
But
I think this is on your side, isn't it?
no.
So access token is completely
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only part we don't have in our hands. So .org is community team. We support where we can. We provide data and API access if they need. But if you have this problem, I can give you the number of Thomas Löffler. You could just call him because it's his. So. So we have monitoring on it. I think you can probably tell more about it.
Yeah, we have several monitoring systems. We have one that sends emails and messages to our Telegram channel and probably something third. And we have an, I don't know if it's publicly available, it's the uptime system where you can see if a system is responding or not. You can give it a try, it's uptime typo3.com, I guess. Can take a look if it
try
works.
to open it.
But yeah, we get notifications if something goes poof.
And we have Sentry running, right?
Yep, we also have Sentry running.
So like external is, we don't know. it's nothing is monitored. Yeah. So yes, we're checking for it. We also having a logging server like Sentry that basically creates groups and issues all occurring errors from the logs and basically send it there so we can basically see what's most important to fix right now. If we see a bubble popping up and doesn't stop counting, we should maybe put everything aside and have a look right now. Yeah? But also for miscarrying requests, we also get Telegram, Slack notifications, and Discord notifications. We just used every channel we have, so no one can miss anything. Yeah. Yeah.
And talking about putting stuff aside, I think our time is up now.
Yeah. Now it's up. Now it's up. Now we need to hurry. So, if you have any questions still, or was it interesting, or wasted your time? Okay.
Or question, we can just nod or...
You could what?
If we could just nod or shake our head.
Okay.
And then more question might be the best.
Okay. Anyways, if you have questions about what we're doing, just approach us. We can get also into a bit more details. It's a bit problematic if you have a camera pointing at you. Maybe you can tell something we won't tell otherwise. But yeah, in general, it's all in your interest to protect your data and don't open up something we don't want to. Yeah? Yeah. Discord. Mono is playing World of Warcraft. Yeah. I need to join later. So, then thanks for your time and have a great rest day.